Welcome everybody to this Sunday's pre-service meditation. I'm Monica, I'm one of your practitioners here. And if everybody could just begin by gently closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in and just focusing on our breath. Let's focus our awareness on our heart as if we're breathing from our heart and just slowing our breathing down a bit. Slowing it down and picturing it coming from our heart. This sends a signal to our bodies in general that we're in a safe place and it's okay to turn inward. And just think of something or someone you love very deeply. And focus on that feeling of appreciation for that thing or that person. And now let's rest in the silence. Let's begin to turn our awareness back to our breath and our breathing, and slowly begin to become aware of this time and this place. And begin wiggling our fingers and our toes. Thank you, everyone, for joining our pre-service meditation today. And service will start shortly in a few minutes at 10 a.m.
Good morning, and welcome to the Creative Living Fellowship online Sunday service. Please join us in our opening song, Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday morning at Creative Living Fellowship Online. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sherry F. McCreary. I'm the Senior Minister here at Creative Living Fellowship, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here. We are an independent religious science church, and we welcome all paths that lead to truth. Our deepest intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind. We have Jenny Sovereigns and Rhonda Emmerich, two practitioners who are holding High Watch today. That's one of our practices here. And what that means is that they are sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, just holding a space for the perfect unfolding of this time that we spend here today. So thank you very much, Jeannie and Rhonda, for your service. And I'd also like to thank Monica Zikas for the beautiful meditation service this morning, the pre-service meditation this morning. Thank you, practitioner Monica Zikas. Let me just give a shout out to our Sunday service team. Nicole Jordan, who is our Sunday service director, is always with us. And of course, Deb Covington, who is the Jill of all trades here. She's our operations manager and she's our song leader, and she does a little bit of everything else, including working the AV team. We have Fran Peck, practitioner, who is our tech team today. So I thank all of you for your service. Obviously, we couldn't do this without you. So we really, really appreciate your service here at Creative Living Fellowship. Our musical inspiration today is favorite friend, Charity Lockhart. She'll be with us a little bit later. And right now, Nicole's going to bring us the announcements. And following the announcements, there will be a brief gong wash. And following the gong wash, there'll be a few moments of silence. And then practitioner Reverend Mary Jane Hyde will bring us our reading and our evocation. But right now, here's Nicole with the announcements.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. It is my pleasure to be with you here this morning to share today's announcements. Meditation is a great mindfulness practice that helps us to be present in the now. Why not join us for midday meditation on Facebook to start or support your meditation practice? Midday meditation is at noon, Monday through Thursday, on our Facebook page. You can also join us for our Sunday pre-service 20-minute meditation at 9:35 a.m. in Zoom and now in our Sunday live streams. Stay connected and supported with your CLF family and join Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Community Care Connection Zoom meeting at 6:30 p.m. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading us in Life's Purpose Visioning. This is a powerful process that reveals more the more you do it. Visioning is a spiritual practice that aligns you to possibilities for your life. Join us this Tuesday and open up, surrender, and catch God's vision for your life. Monday practice with Reverend Jorge starts this week. Every Monday for 30 minutes, gather for a special teaching and spiritual practice. Dive deep into the heart of practicing science of mind principles. Say yes to this weekly invitation to apply Sunday messages and lessons to your day-to-day life. Using the practices of contemplation, prayer, and introspection, open up to see beyond your boundaries, self-interest, and transform your consciousness. Spiritual practice is like swimming. Nobody can swim for you, but you can have support. So join Reverend Jorge tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. The Ernest Holmes book study is starting a new book, Effective Prayer, on Saturday, August 7th from 10 a.m. to noon. Join facilitator Reverend Mary Jane Hyde to learn, discuss, and grow with your spiritual family. No longer is there any question or doubt that prayer can change things. There is no aspect of life that it cannot affect. In Effective Prayer, Ernest Holmes reminds us time and time again that prayer is not for God, but for the one praying. God is not a candy dispenser giving us a treat here and a treat there. God is good itself, and all of God's good has already been given to us. We just have to align ourselves and let it flow through us as us. This book is a practical application that gives you ideas to contemplate as well as implement in your everyday life. Are you dealing with big changes, sudden loss, or other challenges in your life? Perhaps a recent medical diagnosis for you or a loved one has you feeling sad and confused. Or maybe you're just not sure where to turn for services. The CLF Congregant Care Ministry, led by Reverend Cindy Farramon, consists of a team of ministers, practitioners, and congregants united by a desire to be of service to the community. If you would like to receive services from Congregant Care, please send an email to care@creativelivingfellowship.com. The Congregate Care Ministry meets on the second Tuesday of each month through Zoom at 4:30 p.m. If you would like to be a part of the team, please send an email to Reverend Cindy at creativelivingfellowship.com. Are you curious about becoming a CLF member? Are you sure you want to become a CLF member? Or do you just want to reactivate your membership? Great. First thing is to sign up today, letting us know your interest. Then, as soon as we have a new member orientation scheduled, we will be in contact so that you can sign up for that. Remember, you can use text to give to make your contributions to CLF. Simply text the amount you'd like to give to 602-610-1868. And if it's your first time donating by text, you'll be sent a link to set up your account. And then after that, it's as easy as texting the amount you'd like to tithe to 602-610-1868. CLF is a tithing church, which means that we tithe off of your donations. And our 2021 third quarter tithes are going to Child Crisis Arizona, providing children and youth in Arizona a safe environment. So speaking of tithing our quarterly tithes, we're always looking for more nonprofits to send our quarterly tithes to. So if you would like to nominate an organization, please use the link found in the comments to submit your recommendations. And just a reminder, we have a new mailing address. You can also find this address not only here on this slide, but also on our website, posted on your Facebook page, or on our Facebook page, not your Facebook page, and also in our weekly newsletter. Our Sunday prayer room is available to you after service today. Get your after service prayer with a practitioner by heading on over to Zoom using the link provided in the comments. Prayer room participants are transferred into a breakout room for a private session with one of our licensed practitioners. And after service, we have Sunday fellowship too. Join practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns in Facebook Messenger chat from 11:15 to 12:15 and hang out, discuss the service, whatever's on your mind or heart, or just connect with each other. You can find the details for all of our events with their links on our website under events, under Facebook events, posted in the comments, or in our weekly newsletter. One final announcement, although we had a target date of August 8th to return to in-person Sunday services, our plans have been delayed, and CLF will not be resuming in-person services on that date. We will continue to follow our online Sunday service schedule for a brief time longer. Please continue to join us for our online Sunday services each week and stay tuned for further updates. And that is it for today's announcements. It is now time to move on to our gong wash, followed by a moment of silence.
So our reading today is from Science of Mind text, Meditations for Self-Help on page 525, Peace, Poise, and Power. Peace, poise, and power are within me, for they are the witnesses of the inner spirit of all truth, love, and wisdom. I am at peace within me, and all it is about responds to that great calm of the inner soul, which knows its rightful place in the all good. Power is born from within me and passes into my experience without effort or labor. I rest in the security and peace, for the inner light shines forth and illumines the way. I rest in thee. So we take those words, those beautiful words, we'll be with the energy of those words and take that into prayer. The energy that is God as it expressed through those words, the energy that is God, it is poise, it is peace, and it is capital P power. It is that life force. It is a power for good. It is a power, not little p power as in strength, but a power that surges through all. And it is always there available for us. It is pure knowledge, always guiding. It is abundant health, abundant wealth. It is that peace at the center. It is poise in knowing, just knowing. And so it is that energy, that life, that power that is God, that is present within me, is expressing in, through, and as me, as that same energy, that same power, that same presence is within each person, within the sound of my voice, each person here for this service right here, right now. And it is just expressing as love, as peace, as harmony, as poise, power, and peace. Just let those words resonate with the being that is within, the being that is God, that is expressing in, through, and as. And so I speak my word and I accept that all is in divine order for the service today, for the activities today. All are spiritually fed as they need to be through Reverend Sherry's message, through song, through fellowship, through prayer. And so knowing this, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all who are present here and how the divine is expressing through each of us. I'm grateful for the power, the capital P power that is present even in the situation of flooding in Europe, or flooding around here even. Through all of the weather conditions, God is present. Even though it doesn't look like it, I know that peace, poise, and power can express through those situations. And I know that any challenge we have today, that the same peace, power, and poise can express through us into our activities. And for that, I am grateful. I'm grateful for this place that we call CLF, that is an expression of the divine. I'm grateful for all who are present. And as I know this, I release this, I let it go, and I know. And together we say, and so it is. So our musical guest today is Charity Lockhart.
Hello, CLF. I'm so honored to be a part of your service today. I am at sea here on the beautiful vessel, the ship Celebrity Edge. I am here as a guest entertainer and headliner with my show called it's the Aretha Show. Many of you may know about it. But I am here and I am just so blessed to be able to do this video for you so I can feel like that I'm still on land. But we have had a wonderful time. I've been on the ship for about a month and a half now, and I have still 4 more months to go, but we are having so much fun, and I'm so excited for the blessings that God has provided for me and my family and my daughter. My daughter is here with me. So I hope you enjoy these songs, and again, it's a pleasure to do these for you.
Oceans apart, day after day, and I slowly go insane. I hear your voice on the line, but it doesn't stop the pain. If I see you next to never, how can we say forever? Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you. I took for granted all the times that I thought would last somehow. I hear the laughter, I taste the tears, but I can't get near you now. Oh, can't you see that maybe you got me going crazy? Whatever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you. I wonder how we can survive. Oh, but in the end, if I'm with you, I'll take the chance. Oh, can't you see it? You got me going crazy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you. I'll be waiting. I will be right here waiting for you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, favorite friend, Charity Lockhart. Don't we love Charity Lockhart? She's just great. I'm so glad that she's spending this Sunday with us on video, and that she's having a great time at sea with her daughter and fulfilling a dream that she's had for a long time. So thank you, Charity. And she'll be back with us during the offering time. So let's just take a breath together as we just move into this time of our service. Let's breathe together. Yeah. We're continuing with our theme of the month, the freedom and spiritual liberation. And just to remind you that spiritual liberation, according to Michael Beckwith in his book about this of the same title, spiritual liberation is becoming free from the confusion of worry, anxiety, fear, doubt, and I added race consciousness, and living instead from the conscious awareness of one's authentic self, becoming free from worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, and living instead from a place of conscious awareness of our authentic self. And when we are aware of our relationship with the only thing that is, when we are aware of our relationship with the only power, the only presence, the only life, the only mind, then we are aware of our authentic self. Because when we are aware of that power and that presence, and we are aware of our connection with that power and that presence, then we can live from our authentic self. And sometimes it takes us a minute to get there. It takes us a minute to get to that place where we are aware. It takes us a minute to get to that place where we are in a place of constant recognition of that universal presence, of that divine intelligence that is everywhere present. And so the more we continue to do our spiritual practice, the more we continue to turn to the sanctuary of our own withinness, then the more we become aware of that power and that presence that is within us, and that is our authentic self. That is our authentic self. You know, Ernest Holmes said that someone said the soul is homesick and it cannot recover until it finds complete union with its source. He said the soul is homesick and it cannot recover until it finds complete union with its source. And when I read that the other day, I was thinking about years ago when I was in college. I had an aunt in Cleveland, Ohio, and I would visit her during the summers when I was a child. I'd visit every summer with her. And then I stopped visiting for a while, and then when I was 18 years old, I was a junior in college, and I went to visit her for that summer. And we would talk for long periods of time. And I was telling her how every Sunday morning I would wake up almost in tears because I felt like I was so homesick. And there was something in me that was yearning for something, and I didn't know what that meant. Because even when I was home with my parents, even when I was a child, I would wake up on Sunday mornings feeling homesick. Sometimes I would wake up crying, and I didn't know what that meant. And I didn't talk about it, but I just happened to mention that to her. And she said to me, "You're being called to preach. There's a call on your life." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm 18 years old. I don't want to be a preacher." And so she laughed and she said, "God has a call on your life. That's why you have that homesick feeling." And I said, "You don't know what you're talking about. That is not the truth for me." And as usual, whenever I argued with her and told her something that I was not going to do, she would say to me, "Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing." And so periodically over the years that would come up, and she would ask me, what was I doing about it? And she would remind me, as she put it, that God had a call on my life and that I was supposed to be a minister. And I would say, "No, that's not right. You don't have that one right." And she would say, "Just keep breathing." And so I kept breathing. And here I am today and have been for a long time. But you know, what really made me think about that when I was reading about the soul being homesick, that was what I was experiencing all those years, even as a small child. And even as I got into adulthood, I began to I always had that and I don't know why it was on Sunday mornings, but it was just on Sunday mornings that I had that feeling of homesickness. There was someplace I was yearning to be. And I didn't understand it. I didn't know where that place was. but there was that yearning within me. And it wasn't until I started to really study science of mind and really start spiritual practices that I began to, that feeling went away. I don't have it any longer. But that years passed before that happened. And that song that Charity just sang just reminded me of that. It's like a love song from Spirit that says, wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. And that's Spirit's love song to all of us, to each of us. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. And so another way of putting that is you can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. There's really no place to run to. And you know, that brings me to the topic for today, and that is coming out of hiding, coming out of trying to be something that we're not, coming out into our full authentic self, coming out with our spirituality. Ernest Holmes said, don't be afraid of being spiritual. Don't be afraid of being spiritual. He said people are afraid of being spiritual because they misunderstand what being spiritual means. They misunderstand that spirituality is a recognition of the goodness in the universe. That spirituality is a recognition of the power that is a power for good, a power for love, a power for harmony, a power for joy, a power for all of the qualities of God. That's what spirituality is about. But I think that what we think is that when we get, if we're going to be too spiritual, whatever that means, too spiritual, then we can't be like other people. That we have to be different. We can't live our lives the way we want to. We can't. We have to perform a certain way. We have to be a certain way. We have to change. We have to do all that. And you know what? Yes, we do. But it's not for the worse. It's for the better. It's only for the better that we do change. It's only for the better because once we let go of the fear and the misinterpretation of what spirituality is all about and what it means to be a spiritual being and what it really means to come to recognize that we are spiritual beings, then that's where the freedom is. That's where the freedom is, because we get to experience the love, we get to experience the joy, we get to experience the forgiveness, we get to experience all of the qualities of God, and we get to share it with everybody. We get to share it with the world. We get to share it with the world. And we get to understand the oneness of life. And then that's when we get to really, really live from that place of oneness. That's what coming out is all about. Coming out with our spirituality, coming out with our authentic self, whatever that means for each one of us. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? What it means something different for each one of us according to our own uniqueness, And so I encourage you to really think about it. Don't be afraid to be spiritual, that whatever that means to you, and then find out what that means to you. Don't be afraid to be spiritual. Don't be afraid to be spiritual. And Holmes also said, don't be afraid of what other people think. Don't be afraid of what other people think. Be who you are. That's what I'm recommending. Be who you are. Be yourself, whatever that means. Be your authentic self. Be who you were created to be. Dare to be who you were created to be. Dare to be who you were created to be. And when you're going to be yourself, be yourself means allowing your inner light to shine. And as the reading was saying, there's an inner light within us that fills us with peace, that fills us with poise, that fills us with power. And when we dare to allow our inner light to shine, when we dare to come out, when we dare to come out and allow that light to come out, allow that light to shine, then we do experience the peace, we do experience the poise, we do experience the power, we do experience the love, we do experience the harmony. We experience it all because we are in that place of authenticity. We're in that place of spiritual liberation. We're in that place of oneness. And when we live from that place, then we can live our lives without being concerned about what other people think. Without being concerned about what other people think. And so when we let our inner light shine, when we decide to just let our inner light shine, we don't have to compare our light to anybody else's. And we don't have to dim our light for somebody else. We don't have to dim our light for anybody else, even if it makes them uncomfortable that our light is bright. Allow your light to shine. Allow your light to shine. Allow your light to shine. Now, that doesn't mean that we are inconsiderate of others. It doesn't mean that we get to be disrespectful to others. It doesn't mean that we get to shine our light all over everybody else in an egoic way. It means just allow that light that comes from our oneness with spirit to just shine, so that we are our authentic self is shining and is being everywhere. It's being all that it can be. We're being all that we were created to be. This is what coming out spiritual is about, just allowing your light to shine. Coming out from the past, coming out from victimhood, coming out from old ways of being, coming out from whatever it is that coming out means to you. Do that so that you get to live fully and completely and be all that we were created to be. And so just allowing your light to shine, dare to be who you are. Dare to be who you are. Everybody else is taken. Dare to be who you are. I say it again, dare to be who you are. That is for all of us, to dare to be who we are in our own unique way, because each of us is expressing God in our own unique way. And so that's what we have to keep in mind when we are looking at being highly evolved beings, as Michael Becker talks about in Spiritual Liberation, just highly evolved beings. When we are living from that place of authenticity, when we're living from that place of oneness, daring to be who we're created to be, daring to allow God to be God in our lives as our lives. Let's take a breath. And so the next thing I want you to think about is committing to being a beneficial presence on this planet. Committing to being a beneficial presence on this planet. How can I be a beneficial presence on this planet? In everything I do, every place I go, how can I be a beneficial presence? That's been a commitment that I've had for many, many years. How can I be a beneficial presence wherever I go, whatever I do? And when we have that consciousness of wanting to be a beneficial presence, then we touch the lives of so many. We are so mindful of things we say. We are so mindful of the way we treat others. We are so mindful of our actions. We are so mindful of our words. We're so mindful of how we live. We're so mindful of the example that we set. Because, you know, when we dare to commit to being a beneficial presence, then that's a whole new consciousness. That's a whole new consciousness, because everything that we do evolves from that intention to be a beneficial presence. And so when that is our true intention, and we are taking that into meditation, we are taking that into prayer, we're taking that into our spiritual practice, and we're making that a part of our spiritual practice, being a beneficial presence. When we are doing that, then we touch the lives of others in ways that we can't even imagine. That's how we change the world, by changing ourselves, changing our own consciousness, and everything around us vibrates at that same level at which we are vibrating. Everything around us attunes itself to our consciousness, because everything around us attunes itself to our consciousness anyway. And so when we want things to be of the highest and the best, then we have to be of high consciousness, so things are attuning themselves to our high consciousness. And then that's how things change. That's how we help others, and we don't even know that we are helping others. We are impacting others in ways that we can't even know. I remember years ago that I was living in a house, Cheryl and I were living in a house in Cleveland, and she was a child then. And it was a 2-family house. We lived on the first floor, and there was a woman and her son who moved on the second floor. And I didn't know her, but I would see her going and coming, and the few times we would talk, there was something about her that just really was very attractive to me. There was something about the way that she moved, the way she was in the world. She was very calm. She was very peaceful. And there was a look in her eye that was almost like I called it a faraway look. I realize now it was peace, and it was peace of mind. But it was a look, I had never met anyone who just exuded that kind of peace and exuded that kind of calmness. And she was very pleasant and very friendly. We later became very, very good friends. But when I first met her, it was just something about her that was just odd to me at the time, because she was so different. She was so different. And I began to get to know her better. And I asked her one day, what is it about you? What do you do that keeps you so even? You are at an even keel most of the time. Whenever I see you, you're the same. Very, very peaceful, very, very calm, very, very happy, very, very outgoing. And she said, I meditate. I take yoga and I meditate. And I had heard of meditation, but I didn't know exactly what that meant. I knew that you were going to sit with your eyes closed, but surely that wasn't all she did to get to look like that and to get to act like that. And she said, I tell you what, go to this yoga class with me. And in the yoga class, she said, that's where I started to learn to meditate, in this yoga class. And so I went to a class with her, and I think I fell asleep during the first meditation, but I went, and I kept going back, and I kept going back, and I kept going back. And then finally that whole meditation thing started to catch on. I began to feel different. I wasn't identifying it as peace at that time, but that's what it was. I realized that I was beginning to have that same quality about me, because other people were beginning to comment on it, wanting to know, what are you doing? What's so different? There's something different about you. What are you doing? And so I started to talk about yoga. I started to talk a little bit about meditation. And from doing that, then I got to be interested in learning more about spirituality. Now, this was before I was introduced to science of mind. But I was introduced first to meditation and yoga, and something other than, I was always one who went to church, and my family, I grew up in the church, but this was different. This was different than going to church. This was different. And this is when I learned the difference and learned what spirituality was all about. This was, I began to really, my interest was piqued by this whole thing about spirituality and what it really meant to know that there's a presence greater than I am, and to know that what it means to live as a part of the universe, and how big the universe is, and just so many things I was learning. And as Ernest Holmes says, just learning that the universe is for us, life is for us. It is not against us. It is not against us. And so learning that gave me the opportunity to really start to really connect and recognize that I did have this connection with this power for good in a different kind of way. And that power was not up there someplace. That power was within me. That was the most freeing thing I ever got to notice. At first, I thought it was blasphemy. But once I got beyond that, I realized how freeing that is. How freeing that is to know that there's a power for good in the universe and I can use it. There's a power for good in the universe and I can use it. And there's a power for good in the universe that's available always. And that all I need to do is turn to it. And when I turn to it, I don't care how far I stray. I don't care how far any of us stray. It doesn't matter how far we go. It doesn't matter how far we go. Because Spirit is always saying, wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. I will be right here waiting for you. And Spirit is always, always right here waiting for us. In some traditions, I think it may be in scripture even, it says, I stand at the door and knock. That's what Spirit does. Spirit is always at the door, always at the door. And all we need to do is open that door. All we need to do is open our hearts. All we need to do, as I said earlier, is return to the sanctuary of our own withinness and connect with that power, that presence that is awaiting our recognition of it. And when we do that, then we can come out. We can come out of the closet with our spirituality. That's what we want to do. And so that we can really live, come out of the closet with your spirituality. Dare to be spiritual. And that doesn't mean that you're out someplace proselytizing. You're not trying to save anybody. You're not trying to convince anybody. You just are living full out. You're just coming out of the closet with your spirituality. And I'm inviting us all to come out. Come out from, as I said, come out from the past, come out from victimhood, come out from unforgiveness, come out from living small, come out from being afraid, come out from our sense of separation. Come out from that sense of separation, because that's what it's all about. That's what keeps us hidden, because we feel separate from the divine. We feel separate from the source of our being. But when we get to really move into that place of oneness and moving into that place of authenticity and live from that place of authenticity and dare to come out with our authenticity, then we have to be a beneficial presence. We have to be a beneficial presence. And coming out and being your authentic self means being your authentic self in all circumstances, in all situations, around all people, being who you are, being your authentic self, being your authentic self. And again, it doesn't mean disrespecting anybody. It doesn't mean being rude to anybody. It doesn't mean just being thinking of yourself only. It doesn't mean taking something that doesn't belong to you or impinging on the rights of others. It just means being your own authentic self from that place of oneness. Because as Holmes says, when we can see God everywhere, then God shows itself in everything and everywhere. When we see God everywhere, God shows itself to us everywhere. And so when we come out with our spirituality, then we start to see God everywhere. We know that God is everywhere present. And we allow that everywhereness of God to start with each one of us and to come out from that place within us. From that place within us. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do today. Come out with your spirituality. Don't hide it any longer. Don't be in the closet with it. Don't just be spiritual on Sundays. Live a life of the spiritual, because we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. So live from that place of the spiritual. Live from that place, recognizing the good and recognizing God everywhere, and see what happens. Ask yourself that question today. Where do I need to come out? How can I come out this day? Let's take a breath and move within for prayer. And so as we move within into this place of knowing and sensing and feeling God's presence, how good it is to stand in the truth that I know. To stand in the truth that I know that God is all there is. To stand in the truth that I know that God is the only power, the only presence, the only life. To stand in the truth that I know that God is my very life. And to shout it from the rooftops. How good it is to dare to shout from the rooftops that God is my very life, and to know that God is the life of each of us, the source of all. The source of all. How good it is to be free. To stand in the knowing of the one life, and the one life that is my life, and the one life that is a life of us all, and to see this one life everywhere, to know that this one life is everywhere present, to know that this one life is that from which we can never depart, that presence from which we can never depart. How good it is to know this truth, and to stand in this, and to boldly state this and declare that there is no separation, can be no separation between God and me. There can be no separation between God and any of us. How good it is to know this truth. And so just knowing this truth, I speak the word for each of us this day. Just speaking a word of oneness, speaking a word of boldness, Just knowing that each of us is bold enough to come out of the closet of hiding, to come out of the closet of fear, come out of the closet of darkness, to step out into the light and to allow the all that is to shine in and through and as each life. And as we do this, healing is happening on every level of our being, every level of our being. And this healing just spreads out into all with whom we come in contact, everywhere, every day, all the time. And so I just speak the word of healing for each of us, just knowing that all needs are met in each and every moment of each and every day. No matter what we may call the need, God is showing up as needs being met in each and every moment. Whether it's health in the body or in our body of affairs, whether it is comfort to the heart that is broken from the loss of a loved one, a loss of any kind. It is comfort to people who are experiencing the fires and the floods and destruction of any kind, loss of any kind. The presence of God is in the midst. The presence of God is in the midst. Healing is happening. Even though the appearance may be to the contrary, healing is happening, for God is in the midst everywhere, everywhere. This word goes out to our government officials, just knowing that where there appears to be division, that God is in the midst and that oneness exists, unity exists. And divisions and anything that is unlike oneness, anything that is unlike love, anything that is unlike peace, just is dissolved by this word that's being spoken here this day. It's dissolved. And unity is established, oneness is established, love is established, peace is established, harmony is established, balance is established. God is in the midst. This is the truth that I know for each of us. This is the truth I know for our world. This is the truth I know for our planet. This is the truth in the word that I speak here this day. And so I just pause momentarily now for you to speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or aloud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each person is, blessing and keeping them. This prayer goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day. God is in the midst of every circumstance, every situation, every event. God is in the midst of it. And healing is happening everywhere. We look beyond the appearance to the truth that God is. God is. And so I simply say, thank you, Father, Mother God, for the word spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the blessings of our lives. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for everything, for everything, for everything. I give thanks. I know indeed that all is well, for I know indeed that all is God. And I simply allow it to be. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Sherry, for that boldly inspiring talk and powerful, powerful prayer. This is the time we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. CLF is a tithing church, and we invite you to join us in this very sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. Click on the donate link on our website or in the comments in Zoom and or on Facebook. You can also use your smartphone to text to give. We appreciate your continued financial support of CLF. Now let's repeat our offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. And here again is Charity Lockhart with our offering song.
There's a new me coming up, and I have to live, and I wanna give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll make it through. The time has come for me to break out of the shell. I have to show that I am coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, yeah. I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, I'm coming out, I've got to show the world all that I wanna be and all my abilities. There's so much more to me. Somehow I've got to make them just understand. I got it all in hand. Oh, how I have planned. I'm spreading love. There is no need to fear. And I just feel so good every time I hear it. I'm coming out, yeah. I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, hey. I want the world to know, got to let it show. I'm coming out, I'm coming out, I'm coming, woo. Put your hands together now. Yeah. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming out, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I'm coming, I'm coming out. I'm coming, ooh.
Wow. I bet that song will be singing you the rest of the week. I know it will me. I'm coming out. Let's just keep singing that song. Let that be your mantra. I'm coming out. Let's take a breath so that I won't sing it to you. Let's take another breath as we move into the closing announcements, just a few that I have here. So excited that Reverend Jorge, Monday practice with Reverend Jorge starts tomorrow night. Yay. I'm so excited about that. He's going to be doing spiritual practice with us on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 7. So I invite you all to join in. It's going to be a great happening. So thank you, Reverend Jorge. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. Today we have immediately after service, the fellowship time with practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns. That happens every Sunday and it's happening again today. This is a time to come together and break bread together, connect, conversation, however we connect. We do that with practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns after the service, immediately after service. And of course, immediately after service, prayer is available. The Zoom prayer room is open and practitioners are there waiting to pray with you. So if you'd like to pray with a practitioner in a private breakout room, please avail yourself of that service by just clicking on the link in the comments and going to the Zoom prayer room. You can also pray live with the practitioner with a phone call. We have on-call practitioners who are available 24/7 to pray with you. So you can check the list on our website or the link in the comment section to get the contact information for practitioners. And of course, you can always send an email to practitioners at prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. The point is, don't walk around with a heavy heart. Don't walk around with a heavy heart. Sometimes coming out is not easy. So having prayer to help you do that, help you go through that process, because coming out is a process. And so going through that process, practitioners can help you through that process with prayer. So avail yourself of their service, please. I'd like to also remind you of Tuesday evening connection meeting. We have every Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 7:45. And this week we will be doing Life's Purpose Visioning. So I invite you to join us for that. And then I would like to invite you to continue to read the Treatment for Supply. Don't just read it, pray it. The Treatment for Supply, twice a day. It works, it really does. And so I invite you to use our community prayer, the Treatment for Supply, and then watch your life just take off in ways that you can't even imagine. And that's a part of the coming out process too. So the other thing is to connect with each other. Don't forget to connect with each other. So important to stay in touch. And even though we are not meeting our target date of August 8th, getting back together, it's not going to be as long as it has been. We'll be getting back together in in-person services as soon as we possibly can. And I will keep you updated on that. So stay tuned, continue to watch us on Sundays and tune in to us online on Sundays, and continue to avail yourself of all the activities that we have available here at Creative Living Fellowship. Meanwhile, stay connected with each other. Send those cards, send those letters, send those emails, phone calls, text messages, however you connect, just to say, I love you, I miss you, can't wait to see you. And that's what I'm saying to you. I love you, I miss you, can't wait to see you. And it will be real soon. Meanwhile, take good care of yourselves. God bless. I love you. Here's our closing song, I release.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm all